Yeah, and I want to shout out Big Lou because he's the one that helped set up this interview. That's my big
Shout
bro.
out to Big Low.
Yeah. When
Brother.
I spoke to Lou, he really emphasized how much you love your community and all the good work that you do, right? Can you speak to that and what inspired you to give back and for you to become a councilman?
Man, there's so many different cogs to that wheel, right? That make me say that I wanted to become a councilman because that was never a want of mine. That was never a thought that I would become councilman. Like I say, all the time, it's that journey, that highway of life that you get on, and you have a destination in mind. But once you get on that highway, you see your headlights see 200 feet in front of you. You start seeing as you move. When you're standing still, it sees 200 feet in front of you. But as you move, you see another 200 feet, another 200 feet. You start to see on ramps and off ramps and destination signs that you didn't even realize you would have an interest in getting off and exploring. And you start to explore. It doesn't mean that you're not going to your destination, but you learn, you gather knowledge, you pick it up, you put it in your vehicle, and you continue on with your journey. It becomes part of your life. And I think that's what happened with me. I love my city so much that I remember one day my manager at the time, Hafiz Fareed, I had on Newark on my hats. I've been wearing Newark on my hats and clothing for years. I had a Newark shirt on and a Newark hat on. And all of these have receipts. If you look back in my videos and all of that type of stuff, we've been doing this. And he said to me one day, he was like, "What have you done for Newark lately?" So I got defensive. What you mean? What I
Mm.
lately? I wear Newark on my hats. I wear Newark on my clothes. And he's looking at me like, all right, but what have you done for Newark lately? And he stumped me. And I was like, wow, what have I done for my city? And at that moment, when I do a show, I make sure that I come back and bring that hip hop money back to the community. I started, you know, live now. Laugh Now, Cry Later, the Drama Squad nonprofit organization where we went into schools putting on plays for young people about pregnancy and teenage drug usage and things of that nature. Any problem that our youth encountered, we got awards for it. And then it made me start to get attached to the youth who were getting older, and they graduated high school and they remembered and it started to say, man, I have to do more. I have to make more people aware. And it started to put me, to create another nonprofit as I got older called 211 Community Impact, where we focused on literacy and education. So it brought me directly to the residents of the community, doing things in the community that made me say, now he can't ever ask me that again. You
Mm.
can't ever ask me. See, it's all about receipts. If you do something, somebody doesn't have to. Somebody can say that they don't, never like any rhymes I ever said, and that's cool. They still sold a million records, and there's a million people who didn't buy them. So there's always a yin and yang. If somebody says I don't like your rhymes, you don't have to like them, but I have receipts of its success in a certain way. And I thought the same way with community. You don't have to understand or like what I'm doing in the community, but my manager will never be able to ask me what have I done for Newark lately, and me not being able to answer.
Right. And I think what's amazing about what you said is just there's more to than just shouting out your city.
Right? It
Right.
is.
You know what I mean? Like that's great and all, but what are you really doing to change things? Right? You know what it was like growing up in that community and all the pitfalls, the dangers, the different things that you can fall into as a youth. So now that I'm in a better position, why don't I go ahead and take advantage of the position that I'm in to help those coming up, because sometimes all it takes is really just that one person to inspire you, as a child or something. When you're very impressionable, they see you out there doing your thing and they're like, you know what, I want to grow up and be like that instead.
Right.
Right, I want that representation to see people that look like me are capable of doing just that.
Facts.
And I think what's amazing is, like, I looked at your Instagram and I'm just like, man, like he's in the office, but he got the Newark hat on, he got the bucket hat on, like he's still
Yeah,
keeping it funky, you know?
yeah, yeah. I even got my plaque up here on the wall, man.
Right. Yeah. So I
You know,
think that's great because people are more likely going to be listening to you because you know the circumstances in which they come from.
and that's a lot of responsibility, right?
Hmm.
When you have people, when you have the ear of people, utilize it in the right way. Do your best, better your best. Don't mislead them, because now you're messing it up for people who look like you that are coming behind you to do the same thing. You want them to be listened to more than what you will listen to, not less than what you will listen to. And that's only going to come from you doing what you need to do and setting the road and setting the roadmap and this the pathway for other people to listen to you. Because if I do all of that, if I don't dress like them, I don't walk like them, I look different, and it attracts those who look different, and then I start talking like them and telling lies or not living up to my transparency, then what was it all for? Then somebody else has to come along and start again, start anew. And we want this to continue on. We want people to come and be better than me. We want people from the hip hop culture to understand that there's so many avenues, so many pathways to help our culture. Everybody doesn't have to be an MC. Everybody doesn't have to be a politician. Everybody just has to be in order to help our culture succeed.
Right. And it's a lot of responsibility, like you said. But
Yep.
being a part of the culture doesn't mean you have to rap, doesn't mean you have to DJ, but it's still something that you can feel deep in your heart and that you love and that you really care for and try to give back. I think that it's always about not just taking from the culture, but what are you bringing back to the culture?
That's right. That's right. What are you giving? It's a give and take, right? They
Absolutely.
waving me along saying I got 5 minutes, but
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for, taking the time to meet with me today. I think it was an amazing conversation. We touched on so many different things, and I'm really looking forward to the people being able to see the interview. Is there anything else that you want to go ahead and share before we end it?
Man, I just want to say on August 11th, I have some music coming out. It's an album I did with my cousin, my mother's brother's daughter. First cousins. We have a project coming out together that we call the Cousins, um, inspired by our grandmother that we never met. She died when my mother was 15 and her father was 9. But we always felt like her energy is what stuck by us and made us have this artful entertainment type of personality. So we have an album coming out that's entitled by her name, which is Alma, ALMA, on hip hop's birthday, which is actually our grandmother's birthday, 8/11.
Wow.
So it's just inspired by our grandmother. It's by the Cousins, which features Do It All and Fatima, and the album's called Eight. It's called Elma on it's come releasing on 8/11. So just staying in the gym, just keeping them jabs sharp. I'm never gonna stop being hip hop. And on another note, where on the political side, we're touring around the world, explaining how to use arts and entertainment to foster change in community through policy and politics. So we're just continuing to work, and we have some great work that we've done in the Westwater, Newark, New Jersey, and we're going to continue to do it, and we're going to continue to do it all for the culture.
You living up to the name, do it all, because he's really out here doing it all. Seriously.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna say we're gonna end it here. Peace and love, man.
Hey, man, hey, shout out to my homie, man. I know that's my guy, man. Trenton, what's up? What's up? So thank you for the interview and salute to you.